Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Trey, and let's talk about Power Rangers. Once a Ranger, always a Rangers. Because it came out on Netflix on Thursday, I believe, or was it Friday? I don't know. But I know I saw it, and we're going to talk about it, right? Because I know it's been a while, but I forgot to talk about it. So let's talk about the little 30th anniversary special for Once a Ranger, Always a Ranger. I would say that it was okay. Could have been better? Of course. Is there a lot that was left on the table? Of course. Could they have brought the actors? Could they have brought all of the characters back together? I really wish they would have. But since they didn't, we got what we got. At this point, no offense, if an actor don't want to return, not if it don't want to return, but since I talked to some of the Power Rangers, I understand like their feelings of not returning to the role that made them famous or whatever, because both before Jason David Frank's death, both Jason David Frank and Amy Jo Johnson said that they won't return for the 30th anniversary special, which is kind of saddening and disconcerting. And I don't even know, and I think Austin St. John still got issues with a whole bunch of legal stuff that I guess they were like, well, we can't even bring him back even if we wanted to. So of course they were able to get back David Yost and Walter Jones as Zach and Billy. So that was something. But if you're going to do a 30th anniversary special and you're going to be saying that these Rangers got their powers back, and we got other Rangers coming back because Robo Rita is coming back and she wants to take different Power Rangers or whatever. If you're going to have her attacking the whole world, and then y'all going to have little moments where they're going to call other Rangers outside of just the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, you need to show some of that moment. You know what I'm saying? Because there was a lot of Rangers captured from different Power Rangers, and I would expect them to show up. Like, this is no time to be getting cheap Netflix. You spent a whole bunch of money with a lot of, you know what I'm saying? Y'all spent a whole bunch of money on other things, and you mean tell me you and Saban couldn't spend money on the actors that you needed to do for the special? Come on now, that's just weird, you know? Not to mention, we don't even know how the Rangers got their powers back or anything. It just kind of like, oh, they just have their powers, you know what I'm saying? So it is one of those weird kind of instances of like, what's going on here, you know? Don't all y'all go, you know? So I don't know. I'm just kind of like baffled by what's going on right now with the Rangers and how it kind of picked up. And it's just like, who is the special supposed to be for? Is it supposed to be for us adults who grew up with the Power Rangers, or is it supposed to be for the new generation of Power Rangers? Because if that's the case, then I don't think the new generation fans even understand why the original Power Rangers were special. So I don't know. I think it would have probably been better off bringing back the movie cast from the 2017 one, because that's where the new generational fans is. But if you're gonna do where you're bringing these old characters back or whatever, then go a little bit more mature. You know what I'm saying? It kind of felt like a lazy episodic version of Power Rangers, the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie. Which, if you guys seen how the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers was back in the day, which was awesome at the time for us, you know, you're just like, oh, y'all could have put a little bit more time and effort into it. Y'all showing blood and injuries. You show the death of Trini's daughter. So they did the whole Justin thing where Blake Foster, where he took over the role as the Blue Mighty Morphin Power Ranger. And then of course fans were just like, why the hell you have a kid? It was the same thing with her again, where she wanted to be a Power Ranger, And then you mean to tell me that the only people who had children were from the original Power Rangers was Trini and Jason, because Jason, I mean not Jason, but Tommy and Kat gets married and they have a child together, and I'm just like, okay, so so did Aisha, Adam, Zach, Billy, Kimberly, nobody else had no children? You know what I'm saying? If anything, it should have been more open, broad for the children of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers finding out that their parents were Power Rangers. That would have been something, something to see, if you ask me. If you really want to really show some generational kind of thing and pay your respects to Chewie Tran, which it was really nice that they kind of figured out a way to be like, oh, okay, this is what happened to Trini. Trini got killed by Robo Rita Repulsa because Billy was trying to access the essence of Zordon and thought he could pull it back, but instead he pulled back Rita Repulsa's essence, and she jumped into a robot Alpha 5 program or whatever. I forget which Alpha it is, and remade herself as the Robo thing, and she was trying to go back in the past, trying to change it. I mean, it was okay as a celebration. It could have been better, and let's be honest, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers have never been really good at anniversary specials because of the whole Power Rangers Megaforce, which was supposed to celebrate the 20th anniversary, I believe, and they did the whole legendary battle, and people were expecting it was going to be this big, long, maybe 2-hour kind of special thing where we get to see this legendary battle between a lot of stuff or whatever. But of course, the footage, not the footage, but of course, the actors, some of the actors wanted to pay. Haban, Nickelodeon, they didn't really want to pay that much. You know how it goes with the Power Rangers, and it's just like at this point, the Power Ranger franchise made so much money, it don't make no sense that y'all still can't figure out a way to get the actors back and get the suits and be able to film some of the original content. Y'all ain't most of the content that y'all are getting by aren't even original. Most of it is using stock footage. Come on now. Stop being cheap for once in your life and actually do something. You know what I mean? It just don't make no sense. And I will say, because I know there were some people coming down with why Amy Jo Johnson and Jason David Frank, before he killed himself, didn't come back, and of course it was money and the location or whatever. I say stop trying to do the Power Ranger shit in New Zealand or whatever, or another country. Bring your happy black ass to California or a state that's, you know what I'm saying? Just bring it to us. Bring it somewhere in the States. It's a United States product. Stop trying to go outside the United States for a cheaper thing. You could have filmed the shit here in Atlanta somewhere, and the shit would have been fine. You know what I'm saying? And you would have got a big tax break off, because filming here in Atlanta is pretty cool. So I just don't understand why they keep trying to go outside the United States and then expecting the actors to just drop everything they're doing. And you know what I mean? Because I know some people are like, well, the actors could just kind of suck it up and just, show up, which I agree. I definitely agree. I understand some of the actors have harsh feelings towards the production and whatever, but when we're trying to do something for the fans, I would say put the ego aside and just realize okay, it ain't about me, it's about the fans. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, you'll make that revenue back up, because you show up to these conventions, we buy y'all merchandise and stuff like that. So I just feel like it's one of those kind of things. I understand how people are feeling, but at the same time, it's kind of one of those, think about what the fans would want. The fans want to see Jason, Kimberly, Tommy all on the screen together. We know we couldn't see Trini because, in real life she died, but we could have at least seen the other Rangers together on big screen, especially Amy Jo Johnson, which people been waiting for her to come back, forever. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of one of those kind of things. But I am a little disappointed that, again, you bring Rocky back, you bring Steve Cardenas back, and of course he's relegated to background again. When he's the Red Ranger, he should be taking charge. It's kind of weird that they decided, like, hey, let's put Billy in charge. What the hell we doing here? Billy should, even if Billy does have a plan or whatever. It's weird that the Blue Ranger, the Yellow Ranger, and the Black Ranger were like the main focus, while the Pink Ranger and the Red Ranger was put in the background. You know what I'm saying? They didn't even try to get green. They didn't even try to get green energy or whatever. But you could have easily brought in maybe JJ. That probably would have been the perfect person to bring in or something. You know what I'm saying? To honor Jason David Frank, and kind of like, be like, oh, look, Kat had to reveal to her son that, they're Power Rangers or something like that, because it seemed like they still haven't revealed, even though we know in Soul of the Dragon, he becomes a little bit older, and he finds out that his parents were Power Rangers, which you would think that they would know. If Trini's daughter knows, then he should be able to know. So I'm just kind of confused, and they have to be close to the same age at this point. But I don't know. That's just kind of my personal opinion on the matter. I will say another thing too was that Megazord fight. What the fuck was that? That was some lazy hot shit going on right there. Come on now. You made the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie Zord fight look better than that. Like, what was that? Like, I understand that was the 90s, but come on now, you could have made that look a little bit more realistic right then and there. It looked realistic when the Zords risen, right? And then when they got together in their combat mode, and then when it was time for them to transform into the Megazord, that's when everything just went completely south. And I'm just like, what the fuck was that? But overall, it felt rushed. It just felt rushed, and I really wish you had a plan. Kind of like if you're gonna like with Boom Studios, when they're expanding the characters or whatever and stuff like that, and you would love to see something like that now that you kind of have the ability to tell a little bit more stories with the characters. I would think that y'all would have went a little bit darker with the Power Rangers, because it is a celebration, but it's really for the fans that grew up with Power Rangers, not people who didn't grow up with Power Rangers. So trying to keep it kid friendly when this is kind of like an original kind of thing, it's kind of like it's kind of dumb, mature it a little bit. That I'm not saying you got to go extremely dark or anything, but I think you should mature it to the point where, as most of the fans are probably around 30 years old, close to 40 for some of them, you would want to mature it a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to go with the child-friendly kind of thing anyway, because it's not it. The franchise is, you got teenagers with attitude. Now they're adults. So I would think that it would be a little bit more, if you're willing to kill off one of the Power Rangers character, then you're willing to mature a little bit. So mature a little bit with the franchise. Don't just let it just state it just like that and call it a day. You know what I mean? That's just my kind of personal opinion on what they could have done. They could have expanded on how what's been going on in the lives of the Rangers. They could have expanded on the personal lives of the Rangers, besides the fact that Trini had a daughter, and Tommy and Kat, we know they had a son, and that's it. Where is Zach's children? You know what I'm saying? where's Billy? Do Billy even have kids or whatever? I thought he was with Aquatars. When did Aisha and Adam become SPD patrol things before? I guess, what is this, like before SPD Power Ranger stuff? You know what I'm saying? What about Rocky? What is Rocky up to? We know that he's a firefighter, but does he have a wife? Does he have kids or something like that? Where's the next generation of the Power Rangers children? You know what I'm saying? Because I'm quite sure the Rangers all had children. Maybe not Billy, but I'm quite sure everybody else had children. You know what I'm saying? And if you couldn't get Kimberly, Jason, and Tommy in there, what about their children? Their children, I'm quite sure they had kids, which would have been interesting to bring them in as replacements, just kind of like how you brought Trini's daughter in. You know, that's just my personal opinion. And actually, back in, maybe go back to what you used to do. Actually have actors who actually have martial arts dancing experience or gymnastics experience, and stop getting people who don't have no kind of ability of fighting or whatever. Because that girl, I don't know, she looked like she just learned the choreography at the last minute, and they put her in the little thing. You know what I'm saying? So that's just my personal opinion on the matter. But have you guys seen Power Rangers Once and Always a Ranger? Do you guys think it was worth the 30th anniversary special? Do you think it should have been longer? What would you have done to expand it? Like I said, it should have been longer than an hour. It really should have been longer than an hour. It should have been better. It should have been more matured. And we should have expanded on the Rangers themselves. But that's really my thoughts. But yeah, that was it. Tell me what you guys think in the comment section below, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.